dad and Welcome Wilson were great friends. And I remember my dad often saying, if you really want to get something done in Houston, go to Welcome Wilson.
And I think Welcome is the ultimate reinventor of himself. He has reinvented himself multiple times in his career to take advantage of what opportunities are out there, which takes a certain kind of thinking and discipline to do that, to be willing to say, okay, I did this, but now I'm going to go do that.
His father put him and his brother on a bus with $20 or something, sent them to the University of Houston and said, basically, if you need something, call me and I will tell you why you don't need it. They lived in a trailer. Somehow, they knew a dock worker, or so they worked on the docks in Galveston, and a banana boat came in. And so they ended up taking a huge stalk of bananas back with them to the trailer, thinking that they'll just eat on bananas for weeks and save money. Well, they did that, and they ate and ate, but eventually, you know, the bananas got too ripe, the flies came in. It was kind of a disaster.
It actually was almost fate that the two of the most important and most influential personalities in the history of the city, in the history of the region, came together at one time to, in almost a combustible mixture, really. And that's Renew Couture and Welcome Wilson.
When I met him first, I must say that it was a very interesting experience, simply because, which I found out later on, I didn't know, Mr. Wilson had just taken a red-eye flight from California to arrive for the interview. And in order to stay awake, he had just done 50 push-ups before he sat down to interview me. So his eyes were red, totally, and he was just a very straight-faced, very serious. And I sat right across from him, and my first impression was, I don't think I'm getting this job.
My own experience of him at U of H is very personal to me. While he was chairman of the Board of Regents, my oldest son decided to go to business school there. And when he got to the business school, he asked to join the real estate club, and there was no real estate club. So he went to Welcome Senior and said, you know, I'd like to see if there's something we could do about a real estate club. And what came out of that was the birth of the graduate real estate program at the Bauer School that is now on track to be one of the best graduate real estate curriculums in the country.
They're both extraordinarily passionate about not only the University of Houston, but the future of this city. The apple hasn't fallen very far from the tree in that regard.
The Wilsons keep Houston a place of opportunity by example, by their actions, by their accomplishments, by what they do, by raising the kind of family that they have raised over the last 50 years that I've known them.
Like my father, he's very family oriented. He has 4 girls and 1 boy. He used to wake them up every morning for school. So he'd get them up and get them showered, and what he would do is he'd take the towels and put them in the dryer real quick and warm them up, so when they got out of the shower they had a warm towel. So that kind of thoughtfulness is what my brother is.
I feel sometimes the whole Wilson family is ours, and all of them just do so much for the university. Their passion, whether they went to the school or not, it doesn't matter. So when Mr. Wilson Jr. joined the Board of Regents, I thought, what, we got a lottery. We have now 2 for 1, because Mr. Senior is already engaged, and now we get Mr. Junior there as well.
Not only does senior and junior have a passion for education, at the University of Houston. But I think they see the work of what Neighborhood Centers does and sees that as an opportunity to connect the two. Your primary charter school opportunities are the foundation which we will be counting on in a very short time period as those kids move up and move into the educational structure, hopefully at the University of Houston or other good schools around the state of Texas. And they see that nexus, and they see the importance of where we're going with that. And they're willing to not only make the investments, but to defend those programs and to expand those programs.
They represent to me all that's great about Texas.
They're amazing. And, if we simply had more people like them, we'd be a better community to live in.